Can you hear me now? I know you're really busy, and I know Tempe has a lot to say today, so I just have one issue right now. I've sent out an email about it. I know that Tempe has too, but I cannot tell you how this comes up on a daily basis, and that is please, please, please do what? Keep grade and attendance records forever. When you're invited to my funeral or I'm invited to yours, I want to see them there. It really is that important. The VA can go back 3 years. We also have students who get involved in legal issues, and we all know that they do, and those can take several years to come to court, but what we have to do is records are subpoenaed to find out if that student was on this campus on certain days several years ago, and we have to produce those records. Those are state records. This week, every day, grade issues come up. Students are getting ready to graduate. They're saying a grade they got 3 years ago wasn't correct. Now, we know it probably is correct, but we still have to go through the process of validating it. And every time this has come up, in the last couple of weeks, that instructor has not had that information. So I know you get tired of hearing this repeated over and over again. I know that not every faculty member is here today, and certainly a lot of adjunct instructors are not here, and this pertains to them too. But if anybody asks you, because what people say to me is, well, I asked all my colleagues and they said, oh, just keep them a couple of quarters, and that's what I did. So if you would be people to help me spread the word on this. Tests and other materials that you may keep for a student, I suggest, and I talked with Brent about this, that you keep them for a year. Should a student come back with a grade appeal, grade appeals are only supposed to be done the quarter after. But again, there are circumstances that come up that go beyond that. We had a student who 2 quarters ago had a parent die in India, and because of the grieving process, I guess they had over there, it was 3 months that she was gone. And so when she came back and saw that a grade that she had received in her mind was incorrect, we had to go back several quarters. And that meant we had to look not only at the final grade, but we had to look at all of her grades that she'd submitted for that class and her attendance record. So things come up more than you might think, and we do have to do our due diligence. So I don't want to I guess I do want to belabor it because I am belaboring it, but just please, please make sure if you haven't been doing that, that you do that from now on. It can be just a spreadsheet, it can be an old-fashioned grade book, but in addition to whatever takes place in Angel or however you keep things there, have a hard copy. So anyway, thank you very much, those of you who have been doing it, and those of you who don't, if you would start, that would be really great down the road. That's all I had to say for right now. Thank you. I didn't mean to yell either.
Karen says she has nothing to say, huh? You have nothing? Nothing. Okay, well, we crossed that one out pretty quick. Y'all just cross out Karen. Before we go any further, I don't know who has and who hasn't met Elaine. She says, don't do this to me. Elaine Denham. She works at Flint River Tech. She is a POC at Flint River, and that is the point of contact at this point for Flint River to the TCSG, the Angel part. She's my counterpart there, and she will be working with me very closely. She's already working with me very closely. It's just going to get closer. Elaine, would you stand, please? And you want to say anything? No. Okay. I'm here to help. And she has been working with Angel for a long time. She's just been down there with Flint, and she's done Blackboard and Angel, and I think her background is teaching. Am I right? Okay, teaching. So she comes from a familiar background for all of us. Karen, you said nothing? Nothing. Okay. I guess it's my turn then. Angels is a mess. That's not on this agenda, and I'm not supposed to say that, and I am sorry. And it's really not as much of a mess as it feels like some days. We are steadily approaching this migration from 7.3 to 7.4. Officially, it's not called a migration. It's just they're just saying that we're changing versions. But when you change versions or you get an update of something, normally the common person does not get affected. Y'all understand that, right? You know, when Microsoft does a little update, it's just a blurb. Well, this is not a blurb. This is big. And the first question is, well, how is this going to affect me? Well, the way that it's affecting you, if you are teaching Angel at all at this point, you have got to make sure that you have everything backed up for later. One of the things that we're going to do is we are going to make sure that all of our master courses, does everybody have master courses at this point? Maybe I should say, does anybody not have master courses at this point? Okay, some of them are empty, right? Okay, that's fine. And we went ahead and we have created even empty ones. That does not bother me. With an empty course, if you have never taught that class online, leave it empty. Does that make sense? Why go ahead and create it in 7.3, make sure it's clean, if all we're going to do is migrate it to 7.4. But if you have been using that master, or if you've got anything in a master that you know that you want to go across, we've got to have clean masters. The reason for this is because we have a lot of old legacy information from Blackboard. Y'all remember that? How many were here when we moved from Blackboard to Angel in a week? And we were all cussing. All right. We had our syllabus and maybe the first week ready when classes start, and it was bad. It was not a good move, and that's the reason why Robert Cohen has chosen, and at this point he is my boss in this, with the help of other people. He has chosen this is the time that we're going to clean up. And y'all have been looking at quizzes and all these different things. Well, at this point, we've got to look at a little bit more. But, you know, some of us are saying, why are we doing it now? Well, part of the reason we're doing it now is because, you know, they stopped and looked at the calendar of events that's happening in the next 2 or 3 years. Next year, we are going from quarter to semester, which means we start working on quarter to semester just about immediately. And some of you have already started working on the cohorts and different things like that. But we start working on quarter to semester, getting all of that ready in Angel as soon as we get into 7.4, just about it. So if we waited until next year to do this, we'd have a mess. We would be doing quarter to semester plus what we're doing now with Angel. So that's the reason why we're doing it now. We're going to have workshops, and I'm going to show you a little bit about what the workshops are going to entail. What I need for you to do is, when you come to the workshop, bring your thumb drive and bring a sense of humor, and maybe we can provide some cookies or crackers or something. It's not hard. Well, Elaine, is it hard? No, okay. She has already, you need to know what you're looking for, okay. But we're going to have workshops, and you can flip your page over and you can see where we're going to have workshops for the next basically 4 days. And you get the privilege of looking at every one of your master courses. And what we're going to do in there is to make sure they're clean. And if you have a really large course, well, if it's 204,000 kilobytes, I was worrying about that number. If it's larger than that, we'll have to delete something out of it. And that's the reason why I want to make sure your thumb drive is there so that when you start taking stuff out of your master that you really just save it somewhere else. But so far I haven't seen many courses that are larger than that.